We'll go back to where we left off at in Romans chapter 2. You want to turn that light on over? The overhead light. The second one, I think. Yeah. Let there be light. I heard that somewhere before.
Use the microphone?
Huh?
You got the microphone?
Yeah, I got it.
Alright.
Need to use this one, or they won't be able to hear me. All right. We got two mics tonight, double mic night.
Double mic night.
That's
Triple
right.
mic night.
That's right, triple mic night. So if you have a Bible, we'll open it back up to Romans. Now we looked at Romans chapter 1 and in verse 16. We went over that on the first part of this night. And it says, "For I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believes." And we went over that. Go back to the first video if you have any question about that. And then in 17, it says, "For therein is the righteousness of God," or right standing with God, "revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith." So it's not just a one-time deal. We don't just confess Jesus as Lord and then just don't even grow anymore. No, we go from faith. We go from faith to faith. So turn the page over there. So Romans chapter 10. For if thou shalt confess with the mouth the Lord Jesus and believe in your heart that God's raised him from the dead, you shall be saved. So then the first confession of faith would be right up there. That's the first confession of faith. Romans 10 and 8. But with what saith it? The word is nigh thee, even in thy mouth and in thy heart. That is the word of faith which we preach. So what is it that we're preaching? The word of faith. So if someone's not preaching the word of faith, they're just preaching denominationalism, they're actually in error. Because there's nowhere in the Bible that says to preach or teach denominationalism. And what happens is they don't stand up and say, "Hey, I'm just teaching denominationalism." No, out of our weekly reader, they don't say that. They say it like they're really teaching from the Bible. And they might be using some scriptures, but the question is it the word of faith? Is it the word of faith? If it's the word of faith, well, then they're going to be saying that you grow from with your mouth the word of faith, and then it says that our first confession of the word of faith, what is it?
Salvation.
Salvation. That's right.
So I was going to say, I didn't want to make it wrong, though.
And
you got that faith. Good job.
That's right. That's right. So your confession, your first confession of faith is that you're a this. No. Your first confession of faith is the Lord Jesus. I've heard people say, well, what if you're in a different country and all directions go to God? No, they don't. The Bible is very clear on that. Even the Ten Commandments teach, don't have something before God. What would something be before God? Something other than God. So what's something other than God? Well, all these different areas are God's. No, they're not. Only Jesus. That's it. So where would you have faith at? Well, it says here in verse 8 in chapter 10, it says, "But what saith it? The word of faith, the word is nigh thee, even in your mouth." So you have to have The word of faith in two places. That is the word of faith. It's not a magazine. It's not an organization. It's not a group. I heard a guy, he told me he's like 80 something years old. And he was sincere, but you can be sincerely wrong. So what would you do? You would say, the word of faith is a confession of faith of Jesus. Just that simple. Now there's whole groups of people say, well, Jesus is a good prophet. I said, well, either he's Lord of all or he's a lunatic. He said, why did you say that? I said, well, you said he was just a good prophet, but he's the Son of God. See the difference? So when we got that going on, come on in. So when we got that going on, then you can be healed, saved, set free, and delivered. Come on in. I just got done talking about you.
I can't come in.
He's got him a hound dog right there. Just tie him up on that pole.
On the what?
Just tie him up on that far pole. He knows how to be tied up.
Yeah, I think he does. He's learning. He's under extreme
Yeah.
instruction right now.
Yeah, put him on that pole over there on that side of the house. He'll get wrapped up in that barbecue pit right there on the other side.
The pole on the other side?
Yeah, right there. Or you can just bring him in. Just bring him in and hold him.
Maybe if I stay with him for now.
Yeah, just sit right there in that chair.
Hi guys, did you have a nice service?
We're still having it. We're on live right now.
Oh,
Come
my
on in.
goodness. Don't let me interrupt.
That's
Please
all right.
don't.
We've had plenty of interruptions, and you're a nice one. Just sit down in that chair and
Welcome.
just sit down in that chair and act like you like us.
Okay, thank you.
We got dog too, huh? Just don't come to my food, okay? Because I don't have extra if the dog jump on the table. Sorry.
And so we're going over our first confession. And he told me he was Catholic, and it's not that confession. He found that out, though. It's our first confession of faith is we ask Jesus to come into our heart. It has nothing to do with theologian teaching or if I know enough or all that. No, you got to know him. She taught that a while ago. She said,
Okay, I bought the real silverware, and then I just take it home and wash it. I put it right here. It's
and
clean. Sorry,
that's all right.
talking into your lesson.
That's all right. I'll talk into yours when you speak.
Yeah.
And so you ready?
Well, then come and get started. Otherwise, everything goes get cold. I
Okay.
don't like cold
Well,
food.
pray over the food.